Yes, my name is Bench, and welcome back to building our X-Wing. In the last episode we added in our blasters on both sides, and in this episode we'll look at actually adding in our landing gear. So first things first, we need to actually set out and outlay where they'll go. So we'll have one which will come down from the front, and we'll have ones which come down from our two engines on the side. Pretty much the way that it happens in the actual show. So what we'll do is we'll fly over to our nose and we'll just cut out a space. Now because this is our main power and we don't really have all that much space to add in a proper landing gear for that part, we're just going to have some blocks that come down and meet everything else. It's just the easiest way to do with the space that we're working with. So we'll add in our main one right now, and then we'll look at adding in our two engine ones. So we've laid that out, but obviously we can't put in all our rails in here, so we're actually going to put it in the back here. So what we'll do is we'll grab our rail basic, spin it around till we're facing up, and we'll build it like so. And fill in this top section, and we actually need to cut out a spot in here. So there's our rail, and what we'll do is we'll actually set up our triggers and everything. So we'll make a little bit of space here so we can see what we're doing. We'll put a button down and we'll put it into our two wireless logics. Hold on, no, because that's the roof. Put a button down there and put in two wireless logics because we got two engine. We've got two engine landing gears, and then we'll put in a inner ship remote, which will be go back up, but that'll be our landing gear. Landing gear. All right, so now we'll grab our button. And for us, we're going to be toggling between the two different states here. So we'll drop a flip-flop down there. Then we'll grab a NOT gate and put it above. So we can turn that on. For a flip-flop, we'll put down the same direction as what we had. And select all of these, like so. Then up where the NOT is, we'll spin it around to face down. And we'll grab our knot and do it like so. So now when we push it, we should see we toggle between the two, which is what we want. So now that whole system's set up, we've got our trigger, which is called landing gear. So we'll jump out, we'll fly over there, and we'll create the actual thing that'll go on here. So we'll call it X-Wing landing gear LG1. And we'll orientate it the right way. We're still in free cam. There we go. And now we want to put a rail docker. If we spin around, we want to put one there. So it's one up and one across to the right. And then we'll hit T, and we will zap our actual rail that we've put in. And now we're just going to build a temporary line to get us right out the front where our actual landing gear piece is. So there we go. We can delete the rest. Like so. We'll fly out here, and we'll just, because we're at the top of our rail in the back, that means that we're completely docked with our landing gear. So we just fill it in like so. And that's all we need for that. So if we fly back over and jump into our X-Wing main body, what we'll do is we'll just fill in this so it's a little less obvious that it's here. And we'll make something like this, just to cover it up. So if we hit the button, you'll see it'll move down, and our landing gear piece will move down to just underneath our actual things here, which is what we want. And then we'll push it again, and it'll get raised up all the way up into our actual thing. So there we go, landing gears added in for our main one. Let's look at doing the one for our actual engines. So we'll jump out, we'll fly over into the core of one of our engines, and previously we added this section in. We're now going to fill in this big section in the side here. So some of this will be actual power to help drive our cannons. There we go. So we can see everything we need to do. So we want to come in and make a space just in here. And this is where our rails will move. So place down our rail basics, like so. Then we'll make a space in here, because the actual landing gear will dock to this, and then it'll poke down a little bit, and it will sit on this section here. So what we can do is we can add our power in here, and then for here what we need to do is add in a wireless logic. That then goes into a flip-flop, that then goes into our knot, flip-flop on, and same deal. So we'll place one that's vertical, one that's upside down, and we'll grab each of a flip-flop and the knot and join them to here, and then we should be able to see this change, like so, which is what we want. Now we want the little gap in here, because we're actually going to park ourselves up there, and again we can chuck some power in here, because you can never have too much power. So we'll jump out, fly down, and we'll create a new ship, X-Wing landing gear 2. And there it is. Spin it around, and we need to actually set our rail docker behind us, just so all the pieces are facing forward. Like so. Now we'll zap that, and we'll be lifted in, like so. You can see there's our piece there. And then what we want to do is just add in the actual landing gear itself, which will make it look like so. So there's our landing gear. We can test it by just toggling the wireless block, and that works well. So we'll fly over and we'll do it on the other side, and then we'll hook up our wireless logic, test it out, and we should be good to go. So again, we'll knock out this in here so we can see what we're doing. Make sure we don't hit anything on there. We'll put the power in on the other side of that, and we will do this bit here. So again, we had the 2 power here, we knocked out that there, and then this is where our actual landing gear runs down, and then we'll run our basic in there. So the basic's in. Next we do the wireless logic. Select the wireless logic, put it in the flip-flop, grab a flip-flop, put a knot into it, and then we'll put in our basic stuff, like so. And then we select each of these, and toggle them, and test it. And it works, which is good. Jump out, and we'll fly over and create our last X-Wing landing gear 3. Spin us around, grab our docking with the rail docker and spin it around so it's behind us. Put in the hotbar and zap our little block, and then we could add in our last landing gear like so. boom, boom. Jump out. We'll just test it. Goes down, goes up. Perfect. So now we'll fly over to our main body, to where our main gear is. We'll check that it's actually up, which it is. Then we'll select each wireless block, and we'll hit V on one of our engine landing blocks, or landing gears, like so. Now if we toggle the button, we should see all three come down and line up, like so. So there's our landing gear, working nicely. So we can go and toggle them up again, and they all go up, which is great. So we'll fly over into our cores, and we'll just close up this section now. We can fill in... no we can't. We need that. Then we need that. Like so. So you can see that's our landing gear there, but you can't tell when it's all filled in like that. Yeah, let's not try and build where our other stuff is. Alright. Now we'll jump up and we'll fill in our top ones as well. It would be good if I was actually in the right ship bit, but we'll just chuck a power in here. Power, power, power. Power, 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 power. To the back. And then what we'll do is we'll just extend these out a little bit, like so, because the actual X-Wing has these sort of jutting out extra engine bits, but because of the size of our engines, it's a bit hard to do that. So that, and then we'll do our bottom ones, that, and we'll do our final one. That, and done. So there's our X-Wing engines all done with our landing gear. Now what we might do is also add in a camera up here, right up the top, so we can see where we're flying. And then we'll go ahead and add in a bunch of thrusters and power. Where's the thrusters? I always miss the thrusters. Thruster, thruster, thruster. Because we got these blocks up here, it makes it feel a little bit more industrial. We can add it in there. And then thrusters in the back. Where's that grey hole? And we can fill in this section at the back, like so, just to kind of cap it off. And there we have it. So that section's all filled in. We can go in here and fill in what we need to fill in, just make sure we don't clash with that. But you can put some shields in here, you could put a jump drive in here, more power, whatever you'd want to put in there. You could even extend this bottom bit out a little bit if you needed the space. But we'll go ahead and show all three of our things working now. So we can toggle the wings, we can fire the blasters, and we also have our landing gear, which is great. Perfect. So everything is set up. That is our X-Wing in a nutshell. And we can fly around and do barrel rolls and all kinds of fun things. And it looks marvelous. So, that's the X-Wing. Hope you've enjoyed this video, hope you've enjoyed creating it, and until next time, my name is Bench. I will see you in the next video.